Let's start the session. Annamalai sir.
Yeah.
We'll start the session now. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So good afternoon, everybody. So welcome to the webinar on understanding Lean Six Sigma and its certification. So as you all know, this webinar is free of cost, and we are also live on today on YouTube. And the YouTube, if you will go to our YouTube channel, you will find our live session on the YouTube as well. And we have a very knowledgeable faculty with us, Mr. C. Annamalai. He is a master black belt in Six Sigma, and he's also PMP from US. So he will be taking you to the understanding of Lean Six Sigma and its certification, how Lean Six Sigma and its certification is done, and what are the organizations which is offering the Lean Six Sigma certification, and what are the advantages and disadvantages. He will take you. Before starting the session, I will take you to a brief introduction about NPC and its services. So what is National Productivity Council and what we do, and what are the benefits of doing National Productivity Council webinars and e-learning courses. So we will take you to the brief session of that. So let's start the introduction. So first of all, I am your host, and I'm your host Siddharth Pal from National Productivity Council. I'm an assistant director in training and technical management group here. So let's start the session. First, let's discuss about what is NPC. So as you all know, that National Productivity Council is a premier consultancy organization which is under DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, with a mandate to promote the productivity conscious for socio-economic development through productivity and dissemination through consultancy, research and training. So NPC, as you know, it represents Government of India, and it has also an international association with the Asian Productivity Organization, which is in Tokyo, Japan. As you all know that we have a pan-India presence across the nation, as we have our 12 regional directorates, as you see in the map. And we have also a AP institute, which is in Chennai, which is a very high-tech institute with all the energy lab equipped institute, where you can go and see all the energy equipped lab here. And I'm from headquarters in Delhi, and I'm situated in Delhi. So our headquarters is in Delhi. So this webinar starts from Delhi actually. That's why I'm representing the HQ in Delhi. So let's talk about the techno managerial service of NPC. So we are into industrial engineering, we are into environment management, we are also into energy management, economic services, information technology, agribusiness, training division, productivity awareness, and human resource management. So I'm from the training division. So if you see, if you come across, we have a wide range of services. We are touching almost every domain of consulting services as well as for training services. So if you come across any of the services you want from NPC, you can just contact us. And let's talk about the NPC service portfolio. NPC interventions into two wings. The one is productivity promotion and other one is productivity augmentation. In productivity promotion, we do promotional activity through thematic annual productivity celebration, and we do have a separate wing on publications where we publish our productivity journal and e-newsletter. And in productivity augmentation, we have a consulting services, training services, action research studies we do, and we also do introduction to new productivity concept with APO, where we take the participant to the Asian location, like international location, and we do conduct some training programs over there. And also we do work for monitoring and evaluation studies and recruitment solution. We have provided many recruitment solution to various clients, all from MNC to our government as well. So these are some of our clienteles. Talking about the government clients, we do deal with Ministry of Corporate, Ministry of Tourism. So if you see, we have almost all the government clients, including PSUs as well as for central government. Talking about our international and private clients, we do deal with UNIDO, we do deal with APO, and we have a MNC client from so many Jadas, Havels, so even Reliance. So talking about this, we have touched almost every private as well as international clients also, and these are some of our clientels. We have many more. And let's talk about NPC has recently launched one services called ePass, which is called E-Productivity Advisory and Solution Services. So this is the short form. In short form, we call it as ePass. So what is there in ePass? We have a list of consulting services. As you know, that our Prime Minister mission is also to promote the digitization. So we have gone through all our services in digital mode. So if you have any of this list of consultancy services, if you want any of the list of consultancy services from us, you can go and avail the ePass from our website, that is www.npcindia.gov.in, where you have to just fill up one query form, like registration form. After filling, we will conduct a web-based meeting with you, and then we will provide the e-consultancy to whatever the service which you have opted for. Talking about the panelists today, so as our panelist is today having some other commitment, other official commitments, so we could not able to. They will be joining us shortly. So we have to start the introduction without the panelist today. So our panelist will be Sri Arun Kumar Jha, who is IES, and he is also an additional secretary to the Government of India and also the Director General of NPC. Because of his vision, NPC has gone completely digital, and we have all our services to the digital mode. And also because of him, till date, NPC conducted more than 300 webinars and trained approximately 50,000 participants till date. And these are all achievements we have done only in this 4 to 5 months of span of time. And even if you see, NPC is the bar in providing the webinar and e-learning. Yeah. Hi, Ashish. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, I'm audible, sir.
Yeah. There was I think suddenly you disappeared. Yeah.
Sorry, there was some technical glitch. Can you say? Okay. So today, the panelist for today is Shri Arun Kumar Jha, who is our IES, and he's also an additional secretary to the Government of India. Someone is typing, but audio is not coming. Sir, is it audible to you?
Yeah, it's audible.
Okay. And okay. So our Director General has, because of our Director General vision, NPC has conducted more than 300 webinars and trained more than 50,000 participants across the nation. And we do have participants from international also, from international locations also. And we have received a very good feedback from the participant for all the NPC webinars as well as e-learning. So if you see the news also, we are into news for many good reasons of doing the webinars in a very right manner and conducting webinar in a very short span of time and delivering good services to the participants. And the other guest today, other panelist today is Shri Shailesh Srivastav. He is a group head and director of Training and Technology Management Group in Delhi. And he, talking about his education, he is BE in Electrical Engineering and postgraduate diploma in Plant Engineering. And also he has done CPE, CAE, and ASNT level 3 in infrared thermography. And he has over 23 years of experience in productivity improvement studies, lean manufacturing implementation, safety awareness surveys, and many government schemes in monitoring and evaluations, as well as training and consultancy in five. And his 5S and TPM is his core. And if you want to implement 5S and TPM in your organization, you can directly contact us. I will share my contact details at the end of this presentation. And talking about the speaker of today, as you already, if you have come across, if you have taken our earlier webinar also in project management. So Mr. Sri Annamalai C is a MBB and PMP. He has already given a webinar on project management also, because he is expert in project management as well as in Six Sigma concept and lean manufacturing. So he is a Lean Six Sigma consultant and trainer. He has over 30 years of experience in production, quality management, and he has also worked for electronic component manufacturing and e-publication domain in both production and quality. Talking about educational qualification, he is a BTech from a prestigious institute, IIT HU, in ceramic engineering. After that, he did Master Black Belt in from ISI Chennai, which is a very reputed institute for Six Sigma. And he did project management professional from USA, PMI, Project Management Institute in USA. So this is about the short introduction about Anna Malai. He has done a lot of project and lot of consultancy assignment as well as training. He has conducted many trainings to various organizations. I think if I have to talk about him, I think I have to take another 1 hour session to only giving his introduction. So talking about the speaker, we have a very knowledgeable speaker. He will be taking you to the session today. So over to you, sir. Now I will just hand over my to Sri Anna Malai ji because he will be taking you to the session today. So over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Now I will be giving you the sharing rights.
Yeah.
Sir, just put on slideshow. Sir, press F5. Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Siddharth, for a wonderful introduction about me. So today I will just take you through the topic, whatever I have been given. So before going into the topic, I would like to explain you about one of my real problem, whatever I have faced, so that I will take you through the session using that particular real life problem I was solved. So this happened maybe around 16 years back. So my daughter was hardly 7 years old at that point of time, and she had gone to the school the first day after the summer vacation, and then she was back at home. And then when I returned to the house the evening around 7 o'clock, I didn't find her in the house, right? So normally she is very active, and then she used to be here and there, and then singing and dancing and everything. So on that day, I was not finding her at all. So then I just was curious to know where she is and then what she is doing. Then I was searching for her, and then finally I found her on the terrace. So she was just looking blank at the open sky. So I felt that okay, she was feeling, obviously she was feeling very sad. So normally she doesn't show her sadness, but by looking at her face, I saw that she was very sad. Then I just asked her like, what are the reason why she's sad? So she was very hesitant because normally she doesn't want to hurt me. So then again, I just persuaded her to just give why she's so sad and all. Then she slowly opened up, and then she told that she has attended the school immediately after the summer vacations that day, and she was feeling extremely bad when all the other her colleagues or other students, they were explaining about their wonderful exotic holiday, whatever they were enjoying during the summer vacations. They were sharing their experience, but she was actually, she had nothing to say to in the class because she didn't go anywhere, and we were just confined to her home during the summer vacation. So she was feeling bad about it. And then I also was feeling very bad because I was the one who didn't take her for the summer vacation because I didn't have money. Even though at that point of time I was earning quite a lot of money, but I was unable to save money, and my bank balance was almost zero. So I felt bad, and then I thought, okay, even though for the last so many years I have been trying to save some money, but still I was unable to do that. So that was becoming a very big problem for me, right? So then I thought that, okay, now in order to see the happiness back in my daughter's face, I thought myself that, okay, I'll have to solve this problem somehow, right? So this time I will definitely solve, and at least next year I should take her to the place where she wanted to go. So with that determination, then I thought, okay, how I can solve the problem. And then I will just go through some methodology which really helped me to solve the problem. I will take you through that. And then definitely, I think by the end of this session, you will have the answer how I solved this particular problem. Right? So before going into into that methodology, I will just tell you a very small story. So this again is a story from one of the great epics in the world, that is Mahabharata. So aware that the Guru Dronacharya, so he was actually the guru for the both Pandavas and Kauravas, teaching them the skill of archery and other war-related issues. So one day he called all his disciples in the river bank, and he wanted to tell them how they have learned about the art of archery, right? So he just took all of them into the river bank, and then on a particular tree, he planted a pigeon made of clay. And then the target he gave them was that he will give them only one chance, and within that one chance, the participant has to really hit the bird, right? So then first came Duryodhana. Then as soon as Duryodhana came and then he was ready to shoot the arrow, then Dronacharya stopped him and asked him like, what are you seeing? Then he told, okay, I am seeing the bird. Then he asked him, what else you are seeing? Then he told, I am seeing the branch on which the bird is kept. Then he asked him, like, what else are you seeing? Then he told, okay, I'm seeing the leaves, I'm seeing the branches, I'm seeing the... Then what else are you seeing? I'm seeing the river behind, I'm seeing the forest behind the river. Then Dronacharya told that, okay, no need for you to take the aim, you just go off. So like this, all the Kauravas and Pandavas came one by one, and then the Dronacharya was asking the same question the same day, and then he was not satisfied with the answers given by any one of them, and then he was asking them to do it one by one. So finally, the chance of Arjuna came. So when Arjuna came, then again Dronacharya asked him, what are you seeing? Then Arjuna told that I am seeing the bird. Then again Dronacharya, what else are you seeing? Then Arjuna told, I am seeing the eye of the bird. Then again Dronacharya asked him, what else are you seeing? I am seeing the eyeball of the bird. Right? Then Dronacharya looked like how he was holding the bow, how he was holding the arrow, what materials the bow and arrows were made of, whether they were made of right material, right? And whether while taking aim, whether he was taking care for the breeze, whatever was passing through that particular area, whether he is taking care of that factor. So all those things he was very satisfied. And then he told, okay, now you go ahead and shoot the arrow. So Arjuna went ahead and shot the arrow, and then it really banged on the eyeball of the bird it hit. So the learning from this story is that whenever you want to achieve an output, that means you want to get a good result, then you have to have the good inputs and the good process, right? If you don't have a good material inputs, if you don't follow a good process, then your output will always be a problem. So all of you are, I think, working in industries. It may be a manufacturing industry, or it may be a service-related industry, or it may be a software-related industry, whichever industry you are working in. So you have to understand that the inputs and the process conditions always determine the outputs. So you will be put under tremendous pressure from your senior that why the productivity is low, why a lot of defects are coming, why you are unable to meet the turnaround time. So they will always put pressure you on why you are not achieving the output, right? But this output we are unable to get because of the inputs and the process. So the fundamentals of the Six Sigma methodology, we call it as a process approach. Your process is nothing but a set of activities done in order to convert the inputs into outputs. So the chronic process problems in any of the industries, whether it is manufacturing, service, or software, any type of industry, can be solved by analyzing the problems in the inputs and the process conditions. Because if your inputs are not right, if your process conditions are right, your output is not going to be right. So if you want to get a consistent output, then always you'll have to control your inputs and outputs. So this is what is the basic philosophy of Six Sigma, which we also call it a process approach. Control the inputs, control the process, then outputs will automatically become consistent. So don't be bothered about the output. Always be bothered about the input. Always be bothered about the process. Whether the input is right, whether the process condition is right, then you don't have to bother about your output. Your output will automatically come. So this is what is the basic philosophy of Six Sigma. One more thing, what you have to understand is, again, in any process, variability is inevitable. So whenever you are, whether you are working in a manufacturing industry or ITES related industry or a software development company or a construction company, or even in the natural process, if you see, always there is a variation, right? So there is a variation in the productivity of the people. There is a variation in the input batches of material. There is always a variability in the machineries, machine conditions, and everything. So always there will be a lot of variations in that. So these variations in the output, like productivity or quality or turnaround time, is caused by the variability in the inputs and process conditions. So we always, whenever you find that maybe till yesterday you are getting a very good product, but today you are finding that a lot of rejections are coming, then you dig deep and then try to analyze what is the problem. Then you find that, okay, one new batch of raw material has come, and that is the reason why you are getting some bad products. So that means because of the change in process, because of the variation in the process, your output has changed, right? So because of that, you are getting defects. You are working in a software development company, and then you are doing the QC, and you are finding that a lot of bugs are coming. Then you try to go dig deep and then see why the problem is coming. So you understand that one new person has joined, and then he was not at all aware about the requirements of the customer. So he was writing the code in a certain way, and then there was not really meeting the requirement. So that means because of the operator or because of the coder, the problem is, right? So these variations in the inputs and the variations in the process conditions always result in the variations in the output, right? So when the variations in the output is goes beyond a particular limit, beyond a tolerable limit, because you know that any customer is not going to be very adamant saying that, okay, I want to say, suppose I am a customer and you are supplying me rods with 10 millimeters diameter. That is my requirement. I don't insist that you should give me every time exactly 10 millimeters, right? I give you some tolerance. I tell you that 10 plus minus 0.05 millimeter is acceptable to me, right? So that means 9.95 to 10.05 millimeter is acceptable to me. But normally what happens is, whenever you are trying to produce, and then because of either variations in the input or variations in the machine or variations in the operator who is running, then again you find that sometimes the machine is producing somewhere around 9.90 or 10.10 or something. So that means the variation in the product is becoming so high that the defects are getting produced, right? Which is not acceptable to the customer. So the Six Sigma methodology will help you to reduce the variation in the process, right? So that you'll be always be able to get a product with a very narrow range, so that the defects are very much reduced. So in this way, you'll be able to reduce the defects. So Six Sigma methodology helps you to reduce the defects by reducing the variability in the inputs and process conditions of your process. In this way, you'll be having a very defect-free process you'll be able to get, right? So this actually is a typical example of how a process will happen before and after. So for example, this particular project was done in order to improve, reduce the rejections in a particular process, right? So you can see the green line. So in the green line, you can see that the before the project, the average rejections was around 21%, and the rejection was varying from 10% to 31%. Right? So there was a huge variation in the rejection was also there, and the overall rejection was also very high at 21%. Right? Then we did a Six Sigma project, and then after doing the Six Sigma project, we were able to identify the root causes of the problem, like what are the input parameters and what are the process conditions which are contributing to this variation. And then we were able to take some improvement action, so that after the improvement actions were completed, then we were able to get a reduced rejection. So the rejection rate reduced from 21% to 8%. So there was a significant reduction in the rejections of the process, and you can also see the variability also has come down, right? So the variation is now only between 6 and 10%, and the average is around 8%, right? So this is what is how a typical Six Sigma project is done. In the Six Sigma project, we try to identify what are the critical factors, input parameters, like process conditions or the input parameters, which are contributing to the variability, and then we are taking some actions to reduce this variability, so that there will be a significant improvement in the metric, whatever you want to improve, be it productivity or be it quality or the defect level or the turnaround time. So there will be a significant improvement will be there. And we also find the output, the variability is also coming down drastically. So this is a typical Six Sigma project. So now I will just give the definition of what is Six Sigma. So Six Sigma is a data-driven statistical methodology that can be used to improve the quality and performance of the service to the highest levels by reducing variability in the process. So there are two unique features of Six Sigma methodology. The first one, it is data-driven. So whenever you have a process problem, normally what we do is we just get into a sort of a brainstorming session. We call the people from the operation, maintenance, quality, and maybe purchase sometimes. And then we just try to discuss what are the problems. And then we just arrive at some 5 or 6 causes are there. Then we take some action. And then for maybe for a month or two, then we feel that the problem has come down. So that means the problem has been one for eliminated. But again, after 3 to 6 months, again we find that the same problem is coming and haunting us, right? This normally happen everywhere, right? So in a Six Sigma methodology, we don't normally jump into any conclusion saying that this is what is the root cause of the problem. So we collect a lot of data from the process, and then we analyze the data through statistical tools. And then we validate the root causes using the statistical tools. So this is the unique feature of Six Sigma methodology. If you are doing a Six Sigma project, and then I am guiding you as a coach, and then you are coming and telling me that this is what is the list of 3 critical the critical factors I have analyzed as the root causes for the problem, then I will ask you what was the statistical tool that you used for finalizing that these are the critical root causes. Then if you say no, then I like we had a like a brainstorming session with 10 plus people who are having an overall experience of say 400 years plus or something like that. All are the experienced and knowledgeable people. So with the inputs from them only this has been derived and all. I would say no, this is not acceptable. So which statistical tool did you use for validating the root causes? So if you say that I have not used, then that means these root causes are not the real root causes. You just go and get it validated by a statistical tool, right? So this is what is the unique feature of Six Sigma. You'll have to collect a lot of data from the process, and then you'll have to give the input to the statistical tool. And with the help of statistical tools, you'll have to prove, okay, these are the critical root causes, right? And then during the improvement also, we'll be using a lot of statistical tools for improving the process also. So Six Sigma is a data-driven statistical methodology. So that is the reason if you want to solve a problem through a Six Sigma methodology, the project cannot be completed in a month or two. It normally takes around 6 to 7 months. So because it is we are having a structured approach. It is not we don't have any quick fixes for any chronic problems. So we are going to have a structured process. So we are going to see what is the structured process we are going to follow in the Six Sigma methodology. We are going to see within a few minutes, right? So when a Six Sigma project, a process is running at a Six Sigma level, the number of defects is only 3.4 defects per million opportunity. So assume that the aircraft landing is a process, okay? So if aircraft landing is a process, and within a month, you are seeing across the globe, 1 million flight landings are happening. Then out of these 1 million landings, only 3 landings can go wrong. So you can find how small, very small is this defect level, right? Normally in our processes, we always talk about the defect levels in terms of percentage, right? We say that okay, our rejection rate is around 7%, 6%, and some companies where we are having around 1% rejection, then we will proudly say that we are producing with a yield of 99%. So we are running only at a rejection level of 1%. But that 1% is equivalent to 10,000 DPM, right? So if you see that when 1% is 10,000 DPM, so that means what is 3.4? It is almost 3,000 times less, right? So when compared to a 1% level defect level process, a Six Sigma process is 3,000 times more efficient. So you can find what are going to be the advantages of that, right? You can just go on producing and then you can just go on shipping it to your customers without doing any checking also, just by controlling the processes. So that is the advantage of using a Six Sigma project. So this Six Sigma methodology was first introduced in a company called Motorola in the year 1987. So they were having a lot of quality problems, and then the CEO of the company told that the quality of services and products at Motorola has become so bad that it has started stinking. So we need to do something about that. Then he appointed some of his best people to find out a methodology through which he'll be able to solve this problem. Then these people, Harris and Smith and Harry, then these people really did a lot of study, and then they came out with this methodology called as a Six Sigma methodology. So when this Six Sigma methodology was introduced, they didn't make any new inventions, no new tools or no new concepts were introduced through Six Sigma methodology, right? So it was only the existing quality concepts and the existing tools which were just packed in a tools kit box, right? And then it was given to for problem solving. So for example, you assume that you have some problem in your house, right? In the electrical power, say your fan is not running. So you just call your electrician, right? So when you call the electrician, does he come empty-handed? No. He comes with the tools kit box, right? So in this, he is having some test lamps, screwdrivers, tapes, and some spanners and cutting pliers, etc., etc. So he's having a lot of tools, right? So when he comes to your house to see what is the problem, then he is using a set of tools for analyzing what is the problem, and then again he is using a set of tools for solving the problem, right? So for analyzing the problems and for solving the problem, he is using a set of tools. Same way, as a process person, in the Six Sigma methodology, you are exposed to a lot of quality tools through which you'll be able to analyze what is the process problem, and you'll also be able to solve the process problems, right? So you can say Six Sigma is nothing but a toolkit box where you will be exposed to a lot of tools and techniques through which you'll be able to analyze and solve the problem. So the major driving force of a Six Sigma is customer satisfaction and the financial benefit. So you normally any Six Sigma project will start by identifying the customer. Who is the customer? You have to listen to the voice of customer. What is his problem? What is causing pain to him? And then can quantify that particular problem? Can you just measure the problem by a metric, right? And then can you just make some improvement? And then by making the improvement, is the organization making some money out of it, some benefit out of it? So the customer satisfaction and the financial benefit are the major two benefits, the driving forces of a Six Sigma project. Okay. Then I told you in the beginning that the Six Sigma is a structured methodology for problem solving, right? So when we talk about the structure, then Six Sigma project is done by following a 5-phase methodology. So that is the define phase, measure phase, analyze phase, improve phase, and control phase, right? So define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So we call this also as a DMAIC methodology, right? So this DMAIC methodology, what do you do in each and every phase? So let us see now. So in the define phase, as I was telling you earlier, we listen to the voice of customer, try to understand what are their pain points, and then try to convert that into a metric which we can identify. Say for example, the customer may say that, okay, your delivery, you are always delivering late, right? So he's not going to say that, okay, your delivery the performance is 90% or 95%. So he's not going to give a number to that, but he'll just give out his frustration, saying that your deliveries are always late. Then we'll have to see like how we can convert that into a measurable unit. And then maybe you can just say that it is the percentage on time delivery. So that means every 100 deliveries, whatever you are making out of your unit, how many deliveries are happening within the committed time given to the customer, right? So if it is 92%, so the 92% out of 100 deliveries, 92 deliveries you are making to the customer just as per the commitment given to the customer, and the 8 deliveries you are making later than. So that is a problem, right? So in the Six Sigma methodology, to start with, you identify the customer, then you listen to the voice of customer, understand his pain point, and then convert that into a measurable metric. And then you just quantify the problem. So that means, yes, here in the example I have given, the problem is the percentage on-time delivery, and currently I am running at 92%. So what is acceptable to the customer? It is 99%. So then my goal should be to increase the percentage on-time delivery from 92% to 99%, right? And then during the define phase, we also define the scope of the project. So is it applicable for all the products or services that is being produced by me, or only to a particular product or to a particular customer? So I'll have to give a clear scope of the project. Then I'll have to see what is the benefits I'm going to get out of the project. And then I just make a document called a project charter. It's a single page document which gives a very high level information about the process, and it has to be formally approved by the organization, right? So this is what happens in the define phase. I'm defining the problem. So if you define the problem correctly, then 50% of the results are achieved here. Many times the Six Sigma projects go away mainly because either we are taking a very vast scope so that you are going to get stuck up somewhere. So if your project is defined very clearly, so that means the chances of your successful completion of the project becomes very high. Then during the measure phase, you collect a lot of data from your process. So what are the input parameters which is having the impact on the output parameters? So when these input parameters are at a particular setting, what is the output metric is coming? So you just collect a lot of data, right? Then during the analyze phase, you just put all the data into statistical tool and then try to identify what are the critical root causes, right? So in your process, say for example, your quality rejection rate is a problem, right? So then there may be some 30, 40 root causes for that. So it is not possible for you to take improvement action on all the 30 or 40 root causes. So in the Six Sigma methodology, by using the statistical tool, you are trying to identify the top some 3 or 4 critical root causes. So if you are able to attack these 3 or 4 root causes, then you will be able to gain a significant improvement in the output. So that is what is the key focus area in the Six Sigma project. So in the analysis phase, you try to identify what are the 3 or 4 input or the process parameters which are contributing significantly to the output of the rejections here, right? Then during the improve phase, you take some actions to improve this particular, how you are going to reduce the variations in these 3 or 4 critical input parameters. You take some improvement action, and then you do a pilot study. Through the pilot study, you just see whether you are getting the targeted improvement, and then you just calculate the benefits, and then you just see whether your project objectives have been reached or not. Once you are satisfied that the project objectives have been reached, then you just make a plan for how we are going to now apply the process for the entire process, improved process, how we are going to institutionalize, how we are going to take it up to the entire process, right? So in the improve phase at the pilot level, you are proving that the improvement has been achieved. So during the control phase, again, you just implement the plan, institutional plan, and then you take it to the entire process. And then we are also closely monitoring those 3 or 4 critical root causes, which is causing the problem. And then we are also monitoring the output parameter also very closely, so that if you are doing the project on the defect rate, whether the defect rate is very consistent, and then whether those critical inputs, whatever has been the root cause, critical root causes for that particular problem, whether they are also very closely. So you monitor it, you have a control plan. So that means whenever this critical input go out of control, then what needs to be done? So you have a clear plan, right? So you have a control plan, you just create some controls or something like that, and then you are seeing how you will be able to sustain the improvement, whatever you have achieved in the pilot scale during the improvement. So this is the Defect methodology. So you can see that it is a systematic approach. Normally, it takes around 4 weeks for the completing the Defect phase, 6 to 8 weeks for completing the measure phase, around 4 weeks for completing the analyze phase, and again 6 to 8 weeks for completing the improve phase, and then for control phase it takes minimum 4 weeks. Right? So you can see that project somewhere around 5 to 7 months will be the normal life of the 6 weeks. Then again, the other structure, whatever we are having in the Six Sigma methodology is regarding the organization, how the Six Sigma improvement methodology is organized within the structure. Then we have different levels of people in the levels of people. So depending upon the training given to them in the Six Sigma methodology, the color of the belt will be different. So the white belt, these are the people who are exposed to the minimum fundamental knowledge about the Six Sigma methodology. So they are just given the basic awareness about the Six Sigma methodology. So they are at the bottom of the structure, white belt. So the yellow belt are the people who are given more training in the, especially in the define, measure, and the control phase, so that these people can effectively collect the accurate data because they understand the importance of the data. And then during the control phase, then they will again also ensure that the critical input and the output parameters are closely monitored so that the improvement we are able to sustain. Right? So normally the yellow belt training may last for around 2 days, and then they are taught about the basic tools and techniques which are used in the in the Six Sigma methodology, especially in the design, measure, and control basis. And they normally don't do any independent project on their own. The green belt projects are the people who are having more exposed to the statistical tools. Like they are also learning a lot of tools, statistical tools used in the analyze and improve phase. So they can lead independent project on their own in their own department, and then they can also play a supportive role to the black belt project. So the green belts either can take a independent project within their own department, which is going to be a very simple project, maybe how to improve the efficiency of only one particular machine, or how to reduce the defects from one particular machine or something like that. So it is going to be a very focused project, very simple project. So with the help of the people who are working in the machine, then you will be able to solve the problem, right? And normally the training time given by the for the green belt is around 3 days, right? Then the black belts are the normally the people from the middle management who are actually having good leadership skills, because here we are trying to solve some complex process problem by using complex statistical tools. So again, the problems again these people have to coordinate, or they have to interact with the lead interdisciplinary team, right? Cross-functional team. So maybe if you are taking a project in production, then there may be some project team members from maintenance, quality, purchase, and all. So he has to have some good leadership skills so that he'll be able to coordinate all of their efforts so that they'll be able to complete the project successfully. So they are also exposed to a lot of complex statistical tools during the analysis and improvement. So normally the training time of a black belt is around 4 days, right? Then the master black belt is a person who is normally for an organization where they are freshly starting the Six Sigma initiative. Then there may be some external consultants may be engaged, or some of their quality managers, if they are already having experience in Six Sigma methodology, they can play the role of a master black belt. So the role of a master black belt is to give a technical guidance for the project, right? In which direction the project has to go, what the tools and techniques of Six Sigma has to be used in a particular situation, and then he has to arrange for the review with the senior management, and he has to ensure that technically the project is successful. So that is the role of a master black belt. Then the champion is normally a person from the senior management, is a senior management, and his main role is to ensure that administrative support for the project. That means normally what happens is whether the proper manpower resources are allocated to the project, whether human resources are available, whether the machine time is available, like that. So he has to give, he has to ensure that all the administrative roadblocks are being removed, and he also select the project. He also select the people who are going to be involved in the project, right? So the if you see the structure, the master black belt and champion are always all on the top of the structure, but the roles are different in the way the role of a master black belt is more technical with respect to the Six Sigma methodology, and the role of a champion is more of an administrative, providing the administrative support to the project. Now let us have a look about what are the different types of belts or the where the trainees are normally available. So the yellow belt professions are entry-level executives, so they don't need to have any previous experience. So anybody who is interested in the Six Sigma methodology, so they can enroll themselves for the yellow belt program. So unlike green belts or black belts, they don't lead any Six Sigma project by themselves. So these professionals normally they are responsible for supporting the Six Sigma team, right? So they either help a green belt or a black belt in the data collection and then during the control phase and all. So they may act as a subject matter experts or take part as a core team member in a Six Sigma project. So they can also be involved in less complex process improvement projects using Kaizen or PDC, right? Because their exposure level to complex tools, Six Sigma tools are less. So they normally they will just do be a team member in the Six Sigma project teams. So the green belts are normally the professors from lower management, like engineers and assistant managers, deputy managers. So these are all some of the levels the green belts can be trained. So these professors operate under the supervision and guidance of the black belts. So either they can play a assisting role in a black belt project. They can help a black belt leader in his project, or they can run an independent project on their own, right? So they normally use like work on small projects in their own functional area. Otherwise, they assist the black belts in finding the process. So the black belts, they are professionally, they are usually from the middle management, managers and senior managers. They have a high level of understanding of Six Sigma principles and tools and techniques. They are exposed to a lot of complex statistical tools. So they exhibit team leadership as a problem solver. So they act as a change agent in the transformational Six Sigma project. Because normally, if you see, whenever you are want to implement a Six Sigma in any organization, there will always be a resistance to that, right? Because people have been used to do certain work in a particular way, and then even though that process is not producing the best of the result, they are always proud saying that I am running the particular process, right? And when an outsider, as an outsider, you want try to make some changes, always there will be resistance, and then you will have to have a good, you should have good leadership qualities to convince them, saying that whatever you are saying is logically correct, and with the data you should be able to prove them and convince them, and then you should be able to change their processes based on the observations or conclusions from the Six Sigma project. They also mentor the green belt professionals on organizational improvement projects. So they lead, train, and coach a cross-functional team comprising a green belt and yellow belt professionals in Six Sigma project. So these are the three major belts for which the trainings are being given. So now I come back to where I started about the problem, my personal problem with my daughter. So I told you that I will just give you a solution. I will share you the experience of how I solved that particular problem. And I didn't disclose the methodology at that point of time, but now I will just disclose that I was trained as a black belt in the year 2004. And in the 2006, this particular problem came, and then I was very fresh with the application of Six Sigma tools and methodology. And then I thought that I will take this as a Six Sigma project, and then here it goes. I will share my experience, how I solved the problem. So first, the define phase. So I will have to identify the customer. So here the customer is my daughter. I will have to listen to the voice of customer. So my voice of customer say that she was unable to share a wonderful experience about going to an exotic vacation. So that was her pain. Her pain was she was unable to go to on a vacation, right? So then when you really try to understand and wanted to link a particular metric for improvement, then that's a saving, because I was unable to meet the customer requirement, that is my daughter's requirement, because I didn't have the money. Why I didn't have the money? Even though I was earning more, because I was unable to save. So the metric what I selected for improvement was how I can improve my savings, right? So the problem statement goes like this: the savings from a salary is 0% against a target saving of 5% for the last 5 years. So I have been every year I have been trying to save at least 5% of my salary, but for the last so many years I was unable to make that saving. That was my pain or That was my problem. And then the goal statement was to increase the saving from 0% to 5% within 3 months, right? So then expected annual saving was around $6,000 because my earnings at that time was around $120,000. So if you are going to save 5% of that, then my expected annual saving is around $6,000. So my project timeline, I thought that I will be able to complete it within 3 months. Then during the measure phase, I started collecting a lot of data. So I wanted to really see what are the different heads or the different categories on which I was spending money, right? So then I just divided the expenses into different categories like rent, food, shopping, local travel, loan repayment, etc., etc. And then I found that if you see the Pareto chart here, this is what we call it a Pareto chart, which is used for prioritizing the causes, right? So there are different causes for the spending, but which are the causes which is contributing more to the spending. Then we found that the first three, that is the rent, food, and shopping. So this was contributing to almost 70% of that, my spending. And then out of this, again, rent, even though that was the highest in that area where I was living, so this was the best possible rent we could offer because in that area that was the least rent, and then that area was very comfortable to my family, for my kids and my wife. So we didn't want to move out of that particular area. But again, we thought that there is a lot of scope in reducing the spending on food because when you saw that per year we are spending around $30,000 on food, then we ourselves were surprised. How come so much of money we are spending on food? So then we identified that okay, we will spend we will just focus only on reducing our spending on food. So the Pareto chart, whenever we collected the data during the measure phase, then we will be able to focus only on the food. Then again, we also wanted to collect the data for the last 1 year from 2000, entire the data for 2006 from January to December. And then we found that the minimum expenses on food was $1,650 during the month of February. And during the month of December, it was $3,750. And you can see that the huge lot of variations was there, right? So as I have told you in the beginning, so whenever we are having a lot of variation in the process, then Six Sigma methodology will help you to reduce the variation, right? Then we thought, okay, this is an ideal problem that can be solved through the Six Sigma methodology. If you are able to reduce the variability in the process, like how in January, February, if you see the expenses very, very low. But we do not know why it was less during January, February, and why it was more in months like August and December. We did not know, right? So by doing a systematic study, we thought that if you are able to come back to the levels of January, February, if you are able to consistently, you are able to achieve that, then we will be able to control the expenditures too, and we will be able to save a lot of money, right? So we, from the data whatever we collected, we found that there was a lot of variation and there was a lot of scope for improvement. Then during the analyze phase, then we were just trying to identify the root causes by plotting a cause and effect diagram. We also call the recipe cone diagram, right? So on the head of the fish, the effect, we just put the high food expenses, right? Because that is the problem we want to solve. So that we put it at the head of the fish. And then I just categorized the spending into the primary. So whatever the money we are spending on the primary food items, then primary food items like rice, wheat, bread, etc., which are the main main food dish. So what are the money or what are the reasons for what are the primary items? Then secondary items like the meat, pulses, oil, vegetables, fruits, etc. And then snacks and beverages like milk, coffee, tea, snacks, etc. And then the outside food like outside restaurant, ice creams and chocolate, right? So I was trying to find out, okay, these are the different areas or different headings on which the food expenses are happening. And then I just used one tool, which is also called as a cause and effect matrix. So maybe it is a too short time here to explain the how the tool works. But I'll just tell you that this cause and effect matrix will help you in prioritizing those root causes. So out of this total, maybe 15 or 20 different causes are there. So out of which one is contributing more? So we'll be able to arrive at this. So here I'm just saying how my aim or my target is to reduce the expenses on food, but without having any negative impact on my health, because you know that I also spending some money for the health. So whenever I'm implementing the project, I like to ensure that I don't reduce the expenses of food so much that because normally people say that don't pay a doctor, you pay to the merchant, right? Because if you don't pay to the merchant, then one day you're going to go to the doctor, right? Because if you want to compromise on the food, then maybe your health is going to be compromised. So I wanted to implement some solutions by which my food expenses are going to come down, but at the same time without compromising the health. So that is the reason why you can see both the food cost and the health problems, right, as a major output variable. And then I was able to prioritize those costs. So these are the four different major areas I need to focus, right? So the meat, restaurant, oil, ice creams, and chocolate. So these are the four areas with the critical root causes which are identified and prioritized for taking some improvement action. Then during the improve phase, then we just implemented some improvement actions. So what are the improvement actions? Whatever that was implemented. So the first one was we reduced the consumption of meat from twice a week to once in a week. So previously during the weekends on Saturday and Sunday we used to have meat. So now we thought that we will take meat only once in a week, right? Then reduce consumption of oil from 4 liters per month to 2 liters per month. So again, reducing the oil content will definitely help in improving the health, right? Then reduce the number of visits to restaurants from once in a week to once in 2 weeks. So previously, every Sunday we used to go out for an outside restaurant, but now we thought that we will go only once in 2 weeks, right? Then reduce the consumption of ice creams and chocolates, right? So by taking this action, all these four actions, then we were able to reduce the expenses and we are able to save around $6,000. So whatever the money we wanted to save, we were able to save $6,000 per annum by implementing these four actions. Another beautiful thing what you can observe here is also the health expenses reduced from $5,500 to $2,000. So previously, if you can again go back to the parameter chart, you can find that I was spending around $5,500 every year on health issues, right? But once I implemented these solutions, you can see that whatever the improvement, whatever the areas where I improved, these factors were also contributing to the poor health, right? You can see like ice creams and chocolate, right? Outside food and oil, meat. So these are also contributing to the higher health expenses, right? So once I started reducing that, then automatically my health expenses also came down. That means I was able to reduce the expenses on food. At the same time, my expenses on the health also came down, right? So this typically happens in a Six Sigma project. So normally you can take a project, say for example, you want to reduce the defects in your process, right? So you go and tell your operator or your engineer, say that, okay, I want you to reduce the defect. Currently the defect is coming to around 15%. That is not acceptable, right? I want to reduce it to 5%. Then what will be the immediate response of the workman or the supervisor within work? They will tell you, sir, okay, you are saying that the defects has come down, like your it is gone up. Okay, I will try to reduce the defects, but if I want to reduce the defects, then I have to operate the machines in a very slow speed or something like that. So the productivity is again going to be reduced by 50%. So are you willing to accept it? Right? So that means in our mind, it has gone that if you want to increase the productivity, then I will have to compromise on the quality. Same way, if I want to compromise on the quality, if I want to improve the quality, then I will have to compromise on the productivity. But if you use a Six Sigma methodology, then you are going to identify the root causes of the problem, and just by solving the root cause of the problem, you'll be able to improve both the productivity and the quality. By how we are seeing, right? The health and the food expenses were contributing each other, but when we are able to take the right solutions, then the cost of both the items came down, right? So this is a very beautiful thing which happened, in any of the Six Sigma project. You will always get a overall improvement in your process. So during the control phase, I just try to compare whether the sustainable improvement have been achieved. So whatever you are seeing on the left hand side, so you can find that in the control chart we are doing before the improvement. You can see the average was around $2,500 per month. That is on the food expenses alone. Then you can find that the variation was quite high. But after the improvements were made, then we can find that the rejection, the spending has come down from 2,500 to 2,000. There was a significant reduction was there. And you can also see the variation also has come down, right? So there was a significant improvement in the metric I wanted to improve, that is a food expenses, and there was a overall reduction in the variability, right? So this is how typically a 60 project. So the current status, so now maybe I'm just following the same thing, right? Because once I have achieved the success, I didn't want to compromise. So for the last 10 to 12 years, I'm just following the same process. Whatever has been, whatever I just introduced in the year 2006, I'm just continuing with that. And then I'm finding that my annual saving has increased to 10% of my salary for the last 5 years. Slowly, once you start fine tuning this particular improvement, whatever you're getting, then your savings and everything, your improvement is going to be more and more, right? And then again, my expenses on health and loan repayment also have come down drastically, right? Why? I have already explained why the health expenses has come down. That I have given you a logical explanation. But how the loan repayments have come down drastically? Now, because previously I was not saving, so I was taking a lot of loan, and then I was paying the interest on the loan, and then there was again adding to my cost, right? So now, after doing this improvement, now I am saving a lot of money, so I am taking less loan, or whatever the loan I am taken, I am repaying promptly, so that the loan repayment cost also has come down. So that means solving a particular problem through a Six Sigma methodology will give you multiple benefits. So overall, you can find that you will find unimaginable improvements that is possible, right? So now the first two, whatever the reasons I have given, results I have given, this is what we call as a hard saving or tangible benefits, which you can measure in terms of the rupee terms, money terms. And the last two, whatever I have given, we call that as an intangible benefit or a soft benefit. So now every year I enjoy vacation with my family in an exotic location, and most important of all, I can see happiness in my daughter's face, right? During vacations, for which I can never fix a monetary value. Can anyone of you fix any monetary value for the happiness in your son's or daughter's face? So you can see the Six Sigma methodology is not only useful for solving your process problems, but it will also be helpful for solving all your personal problems. So this is with conviction, I'll be able to tell that. And that's why I have been a passionate follower of Six Sigma methodology for the last 15 years. Okay. Okay, now coming back to why Six Sigma. So I think I just fulfilled my promise of explaining you about the problem I faced and how I solved, and I think you are finding it logical, right? Okay. Now, why Six Sigma certification, right? So job opportunity in reputed companies, you know that right now I am just consulting to companies like Amazon, like these are all multinational MNCs. And then they have a dedicated process improvement methodology where Six Sigma projects are regularly taken up. So they are again requiring a lot of green belts and black belts to lead the process improvement project. So any whether it is TCS or whether it is Cognizant or any company, you name any big companies, they always have this process improvement program, Six Sigma program running, and then there are a lot of opportunities for that, which normally based only on your technical skills, maybe you may not be able to enter into those big companies, but this through Six Sigma methodology or certification can be the real key, very important and useful key through which you'll be able to enter those big reputed companies, right? Career advancement. So if you are able to master the Six Sigma methodology, then you'll be able to show a lot of improvements in your organization, and then through which you'll be able to have quicker career advancement when compared to the other people who don't have this particular skill. Career change across industry level. So this actually is a very, very important and a useful reason for why you should go for a 16 certificate. For which again, I myself is personally an example for that. So I started my career in the year 1985 till 2007. So 22 years I was working in electronic component manufacturing, and that particular product was made only in 4 places in India. And I had worked for 2 companies, and for the other 2 companies, I had attended the interview, and for some reason, I didn't really take up the job. That means I had exhausted all this chances or the opportunities for going into or changing my job, right? So that means I was there's some sort of a insecurity really came into my mind. So am I going to retire? at a particular stagnant at a particular level or something like that. So what is going to happen? If this particular job one day I'm going to fall in out of favor with the management, what I'm going to do? So this particular uncertainty was always lingering in my mind. But once I just got certified as a black belt, and then I was able to show some results. Then in the year 2007, I was able to shift from manufacturing to ITS company, right? With the salary jump of around 60% salary jump was there. So that was really a very big jump. And then again in the year 2007 to 2015, I made a decision of starting my own company. And then now I am consulting companies. Like I have consulted for a food industry that is a starch manufacturing company, one of the biggest company in India. I am now currently consulting for Amazon. I have consulted for the Middle East, like in Oman for the drilling services, and for HR MNC based company, like US based company on the HR services. So many different industries, right? So did you see any connections between the industry? Like where is the starch industry and where is Amazon, right? Is the processes going to be the same? The processes are entirely different, right? Can a company, can a person who is working in a starch company, can he shift to Amazon? Impossible, right? But using the Six Sigma methodology, now I am able to do that. So this is a very, very important aspect why you should go for a Six Sigma certification. You always will have chance to change your industry by different, right? Excellent salary, then applicability across industries. So you can just, irrespective of any industry, it may be a pharmaceutical industry, it may be a construction industry, it may be a service sector company, it may be a manufacturing core process industry, it may be a software development. So whatever type of industry is there, you will be able to, the Six Sigma methodology is fully applicable for that, right? And then you will gain a hands-on experience in quality management. I know that some people are really quality conscious, maybe the way they have seen. So they will just feel like a fish out of water if they don't get involved in a quality related activities, right? So though for those people, they will be able to get some hands-on experience in the quality management just by going through the 60 months certification. And then you will be able to support your organization eliminating the errors. Like if your organization is currently producing 6% defect, maybe you can just, why not? You can just attempt for 3.4 DPM, that is million per opportunity, defense per million, right? So that way you will be able to contribute substantially to the company. Right? So that is the reason why I feel that, because getting certified as a black belt in the year 2004 was one of the turning points of my career, because it has helped me in 2007 or 2015 or even now. So whatever has happened in my life, in my personal and professional life, it has happened purely because of Six Sigma. So that is the reason why I'm passionately attached to Six Sigma. So now coming to the comparison of the Six Sigma certification which is available. So there are two major international certification agencies. The first one is called IASSC International Association for Six Sigma Certification. The second one is the ASQ American Society of Quality. So these are the two different international certifications which are widely recognized. But again, to be very cautious, this if 100 black belts are employed, you cannot say that out of the 100 black belts or green belts, 98 people are going to be certified by any of these two institutes. It is not like that, right? So these certifying agencies have not reached that level of boasting that, okay, we are having a significant number of black belts or green belts certified by them, right? Okay, out of whatever is available, okay, these are the two best. So maybe they may be contributing only to maybe a maximum of say less than 5% of the total green belts and black belts available in the market, right? So again, in order to get certified as a black belt or a green belt or yellow belt, so what are the, so you have to take an exam, and then the number of questions will vary, and then number of hours will vary. So exam type pattern, whether it's open type or closed, that also will vary. And then for green belt and black belt for ASQ, again you will have to have some minimum number of years of experience and some projects to be done. And then the examination fees, if I can see, for the green belt, again it varies from 20 to 30,000 per green belt, right? And for black belt around 30 to 37,000. So you can find that it's quite costly, very price is very high. And again, you can find that the validity of certificate is only for 3 years. So after 3 years, again, you have to recertify, and again you have a fees for recertification. So this slide gives a comparison of the different certifications given by these two bodies, and then what are the numbers, facts, and figures about those. Okay. So now let us come to what are the disadvantages in this international Six Sigma certification, right? So here you find that if any company they want to implement Six Sigma, or as a person you want to enter into Six Sigma. So Lean is actually the foundation of Six Sigma. So Lean is nothing but it is again we will just see in the coming slide. So this foundation, that is a Lean, which is the foundation. So the knowledge of the Lean tools and their application to improve the process are not tested thoroughly in the international Six Sigma certificate. So they don't test your knowledge on whether this Lean methodology, right? So they straight away just go into Six Sigma. So even I was when I was taking the training in the year 2004 for black belt, I was trained for 20 days, right? 4 weeks over the 4 months, each week 5 days, 5 working days, 20 days. And for the 20 days, I was just given a heavy dose of statistics, which I was not able to understand at that point of time, right? That, but again, I was never not taught anything about the lead tools. They're very easy to learn and very easy to implement and very easy to very good quick results can be achieved. So those lean tools were not really being a part of the Six Sigma, right, at that point of time. So this again, this as a disadvantage of the international Six Sigma certificate, you don't learn much about the lean tools here. So again, it is highly expensive and a recertification process. So test only the theoretical concept, do not give an insight as to how lean and Six Sigma can be practically implemented in processes to get the real benefit. So not very much relevant in industries, Indian industries. As I told, they just form a very small percentage of the total certified real world supply. So now what NPC is offering, so NPC offers certification two methodology, that is the lean. As I was telling you the importance of the lean. So we are the certified lean professional CLP. This is one certification being now introduced by NPC, and I think Siddharth will talk to you about that. And the second one is about the Six Sigma, where you will get the Six Sigma green belt and black belt certificate. So first, let us discuss on the certification offered on lean by NPC. That is what is the certified lean professional, that is the CLP course. So as I was trying to explain, Lean is the methodology to identify and eliminate waste in the process and improve their efficiency. So whenever you find in your process, you just go back in your memory and then see yesterday whatever you were working, or last week whatever you were working, last month whatever you were working. Did you scrap any of your products? Did you do a lot of rework? You can say that was there any customer complaint? Did you spend a lot of sleepless night because of some customer issues? All for all, I know that the answer will be yes, right? So you find that these are all waste. Any rework or rejection, scrap, everything is a waste, right? So the lean methodology will help you to identify the waste, eliminate the waste, so that your process will become efficient. So the lean is the foundation on which the Six Sigma methodology can be built in any organization. So lean helps in identifying the low-hanging fruits. So that means which can be easily achieved, which can be quickly achieved. So normally, maybe I didn't put the picture here. There are 4 types of improvements possible. Like you can just compare it with the tree, and then there are some fallen fruits are there, which only you need to pick up. We call that as just do it. So you can just go there and then make the improvement. There are second thing is the low hanging fruits, means with the small effort you'll be able to make a substantial benefit can be achieved. So that is what is lean. Third one is Six Sigma, the middle hanging fruit, where again you have to put in some effort in order to make those benefits. So that is Six Sigma. The last one is the high hanging fruit. Again, that is the design for Six Sigma, where using very sophisticated statistical tools you'll be able to get the improvement. So lean will help you to definitely help. You will be able to achieve some immediate quick results by introducing the lean in your organization. So lean helps in converting your non-productive time into customer focus, productive time to any organization to improve efficiency. So the NLP certified lean professional, the course prepares participants to learn and practically implement tools of the waste minimizing lean methodology. It is a simple, easy to understand presentation without compromising the complexity or quality of the content. I don't know whether you accept with that, because I think the Six Sigma methodology, I have seen many trainers or many training companies, they put a lot of complex statistical like normal distribution curve and binomial Poisson distribution, a lot of complicated graphs and everything try to explain, but I was trying to make it as simple as possible, as easy to understand. So that will be the style of training you are going to get from NPC. So simple, easy to understand presentation without compromising the complexity, quality of the content. Interactive sessions with presentations containing relevant images, video. Interactive session maybe it was not possible because it's only a small, maybe only 1 hour I had time. But normally during the classroom or during the one-to-one live on session, I make a lot of interaction with the participants, and then you can see that there were a lot of images and videos, right? So all sessions are packed with a mix of theory and practice with hands-on activity. Real examples for easier understanding of concepts as you are live seen now. So certification differs, passing an exam and completing a successful lean project. So these are some of the, maybe I don't know how many of you are already exposed to some of the lean tools and concepts. So these are all some of the concepts and tools which you will be learning as a part of this certified lead professional. And what is going to be the differentiator whenever you are going to take the CLP certification from NPC? So it ensures that not only the theoretical knowledge, but also demonstrated implementation of skills. Because NPC is National Productivity Council. It has been we have a lot of experience, or so many years of experience in working with the different type of industry. So we know that theoretical teaching alone is not going to help you. How we are going to practically implement in your workplace, that is more important. So that emphasis will be given on how we are going to implement it in your place. Then it will be blended with universally respected books, classes, site visits, conferences, etc. Then hands-on skills learned through real experiences rather than through simulated projects, complete with the actual results and benefits, as I was explaining you. The certification program encourages continuous self-improvement and requires recertification to keep the credential active, so that it is not that, okay, once you get the certificate, then you are going to go off, then you forget everything. It's not going to happen. You have to get the recertification every 3 years. And then this will ensure that you will be constantly in touch with whatever is happening. So with this, I just complete the presentation here. And once again, I would like to thank Siddharth for giving this wonderful opportunity to talk to all of you. And now hand over the session to Siddharth. Siddharth, just wait. I will just allow you to start the screen.
So much, sir. Thank you for the beautiful explanation about Lean Six Sigma. And I hope all the part about what is Lean and what is Six Sigma. So basically, NPC is offering a certification course to all the participants, whoever is interested. So we have already launched Six Sigma certification course. That is one of from Center of Excellence team, Yadu Yadav. He will be explaining you that. Before that, I certified lean professional course. So how we are going to do it. So I will just share you my whether my content is visible.
Yeah.
Annamalai sir. Yeah,
It is you are
visible
sharing.
on screen.
No, it is loading.
Okay, okay. Please inform me once it is load. I think in my screen it is already visible.
I think it's still loading. I don't know about that.
Okay, wait. I'll share it again.
Sir, please share it again.
Okay. So basically, as Annamalai sir has already explained you about, with a very beautiful example of his real life experiences, that how lean he has implemented his own life and what are the benefits he got from the lean. So I think now my presentation is visible.
Not yet, Siddharth.
No, still it is loading.
One second, sir. I'll just resolve this issue. Till the time we can hand over to Yadu, sir. Is that okay, sir?
No, wait. Till the time, I think some question answers is there. That
No,
we will.
we are
Yes,
able
yes,
to see
visible,
the screen.
visible, sir. Visible, visible.
Visible? Okay,
Visible
fine.
now.
Okay. So, like we are going to launch a certified lean professional CLP online course with lessons and quizzes. So, this course will be having a lifetime access to all the participants. So, basically, this will be having 10 lessons course, which will be having around 16 hours of content. So, we will be covering in each and every lesson. In first lesson, we will be covering the lean overview. What is happening in nowadays that people are so much interested about Six Sigma. they are forgetting the lean concept. They directly want to jump into the Six Sigma. So going to Six Sigma without having a strong foundation of lean is completely waste of time or waste of your knowledge also. So we want all the young people in India, we want all over the India, we want people to know about what is lean manufacturing, what are the principles and what is the philosophy of lean. First of all, you have to develop the lean culture in your enterprise. So then only you can able to focus on the Six Sigma improvement projects. So certified lean professional is like a foundation for leans. So once you have the strong foundation for lean, then only you can focus on the Six Sigma projects. Because on Six Sigma, you have to execute a project and you have to do it through the DMIC process. And then you have to come up with some results. So if you, all the Six Sigma projects take the lean philosophy. So what are the lean, whatever the lean principles which you have learned in this course, that those principles only will apply in your Six Sigma certification. So first of all, you have to make your foundation strong. So in lesson 2, you will focus on phase overview and you will define the customer needs and value. So first of all, you should understand what is your customer need and you have to put some value on that. And then you have to select the initial scope of the project and then you have to develop the lean charter. So first of all, before going for any project, you have to develop the project charter. Without the project charter, going for a lean project or Six Sigma project is completely, it is like without any plan, you are going to execute some project. So first of all, lean charter is must. So we will explain you how you have to make a lean charter. And then in lesson 3, we will talk about operating phase overview and what is the value stream mapping, because value stream mapping is for first, you know what is the value stream mapping in your system. Then only what are the exact benefits you are getting from the system. Then we will also make you understand how to diagnose the problem in the lesson 5, and then how to overview and how to plan a Kaizen event. Then we will also explain you what are the root cause analysis. Then we will also give you the how to create the future value stream map, how to implement organization. Then in lesson 1, in utilize phase, we will talk about what is risk management, change management is done, what are the layouts and visual control dashboards are there. Then in we will talk about the 5S, major performance, error proofing, system factors. It is a 16 hours of content and you will be having a lifetime access to this. Excuse me, sir, are you saying something?
No, it's okay.
So this lean CLP course will take you to the foundation. And once you have had a strong foundation of lean, then you can able to do the Six Sigma. So this is the 10 lessons which we are going to teach you in this e-learning course. And it will be having a lifetime access to all the participants who in the course. Now we'll talk about what are the benefits of a lean professional, certified lean professional. First of all, will be a blended learning. As you know that already sir and me are having a very good industry exposure for lean, because NPC is from the beginning we are into implementation of Lean Six Sigma, and we have implemented a lot of lean in MSME segments also. So it will be a mix of industry-based and web-based education. We will be giving you real-time example of how lean is being implemented in the industries and what are the benefits being achieved from the lean. Then it will be an industry real-time example